going on, everybody? Tobin here, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here. I want to show y'all what I feel like is probably the #1 accessory that I feel is the #1 accessory that you would need for a flatbed utility type trailer. But before we get into that, on the subject of trailers, I want to talk to you guys about a video that I did a while back, maybe a year and a half ago, that did really well. And that was a video where I stained the boards on my utility trailer with used motor oil. That video's done really well on YouTube, and I wanted to talk about that and ask some questions, give a little bit of an update. So first update, boards still look great. No issues with them at all. I just noticed that one right there cracked, but that's not because of anything with the oil. We've not got rain in months, and so the dirt you see on there is just dust settling down on the trailer, and then that gets on my hands. So I guess the first update is it's working great. I'll probably go back in another year or two and do it again just for good measure, although I don't know that I necessarily need to. I spoke about this on the other video, but I do have a smaller single axle flatbed utility trailer that I did this to 20 years ago, and I've never replaced the boards on that trailer ever, and they're still in good shape. So a couple of questions I get. Is it slick when it rains? Yes. But wood in general is slick when it rains. Our front porch right there, that's not treated yet. I will treat it at some point. If it rains, that wood's slick. Does the oil make it slicker? Probably a little bit. But the water just beads on top of that wood and just sitting there. So, if you're worried about it being slick, it's going to be slick no matter what you treat it with. So if you're worried about that, and you're going to be using it in the rain, like grip tape or something like that in certain areas where you're going to be stepping up there would probably be beneficial. Second is, does it get on your clothes? Yes. And in reality, the oil doesn't get on your clothes. The dirt that the oil grabs is what gets on your clothes mostly. Like I was showing you on my fingers earlier, just a little bit of residual stuff. I mean, if you're getting up there rolling around, yeah, you're gonna get some dirt and maybe tiny bit of oil on you. If your kids get up there and play on it, yeah, they could get on their clothes, that type of stuff. But I mean, other than getting up there to strap something down or whatever, typically I'm not laying down on it or sitting down on it. I'm standing on it, so not an issue for me. One of the other big questions I get, and I don't get this, it's kind of a people say, well, what about, because when I did the trailer, I did the top. And people say, well, what about the bottom? You're not gonna do the bottom? Well, no, I'm not gonna do the bottom. Why would I do the bottom? I don't know if y'all noticed, but rain comes from one direction. The sun comes from one direction. Anybody wanna guess? Comment below what direction that's from? I'll give you a hint, it's up. The only time that this trailer would be getting any water from the bottom side is if you were driving down the road when it has rained and there's water splashing up from the bottom, which I guess if you're using the trailer a lot could be an issue. But in reality, it's not an issue for me. This trailer doesn't get used a whole lot, maybe a dozen, 15, 20 times a year at the most. So there's no water coming from the bottom to get up underneath there and cause an issue. When I did it, if you go back and watch the video, I'll leave a link to the video in the description, and you can search for it on our channel as well. But I used a mop and very thoroughly got the top and allowed it to go down between each board. So I feel like it's covered. So I think those are the main questions I get. Replacing these boards on a flatbed utility trailer is expensive, and it is time consuming. So I think a little bit of prevention is worth not having to do it. And like I said, I typically change the oil in my truck right there, and then sometimes my wife's car, and I just save it. I've got it on hand. Got several gallons right there. and it comes in handy for a lot of stuff. I just built this outdoor shower right here that's going to our deer lease, and I treated the whole thing with motor oil. And it is, I'm going to tell you, in the very beginning, it takes a little bit of time for it to soak in. Just worked on this a little bit today, and you know, there is oil on there. Once you get out in the sun, that oil is going to penetrate down in there and you know, get down in the wood and not have that little slickness to it. Another thing on this trailer, I added diesel, a little bit of diesel in with the oil just to kind of thin it out and make it easier to put on. I don't know if that's necessary or not. At the time, I didn't have enough oil to do the whole thing, so it was I was kind of adding it to dilute the oil a little bit and then also make it easier to go on. So, but enough rambling about that. Hope that gives you guys a good update on it. Comment below with any other questions about it. I'd be happy to answer those. But for today's video, the #1 accessory that I feel like y'all need to put on your flatbed utility trailer is a tongue box. It comes in handy for ratchet straps, for a jack, for a tire tool, lots of stuff like that. You can keep in there and just have them on the trailer. That way when you hook up to it, boom, they're with you, they go with you. So I've been wanting one for a while and just never really pulled the trigger. And our friends over at Vever reached out to me and asked me if they could send me one. And I said, sure, I'll send it. I'll be happy to throw it on the trailer. So this showed up in the mail. And we're gonna put it on the trailer. So one thing about this, it did not come with mounting hardware. So I had to go to Home Depot and get some U-bolts and some other, you know, like nuts and all that kind of stuff to mount it on there. But other than that, it does come with a key and some other stuff. We'll get it out here in a minute once we put it on there and show you what all it comes with. But it's designed to fit right here on the tongue where it's handy for everything. So I'm going to get it out and throw it on there. Once we get it mounted, we'll look at it and talk about it a little more. Alright, so let me show you all what all I picked up to do this with. I just got these are 5/16 U-bolts, and they're about like 4 inches right here, I think. So I got 2 of those, and then some lock washers. And then I got a paint pen here, so I can mark the box. And then a drill bit, and a socket, and a drill. That's all there is to it. It's on there. I mean, it's solid as can be. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. And if it does, I guess I'll address that then. I put lock washers on there so they shouldn't back off. And I'll check it, you know, once I drive with it the first time, I'll check it real good to make sure it's not, you know, getting loose or anything. All right, I got it loaded up with the accessories I need, tools I need. Got my heavy duty ratchet straps, tire tool, and a floor jack. If you've ever had to use like your truck jack to jack up a flatbed trailer, it's not the best way to do it. So having that in there is great, and I got plenty of more room for anything else I decide I want to throw in there that I might need while we're using this trailer. So this thing comes with a one of these shocks that holds the door open, which is really nice. Comes with a lock and key. Sent 2 keys. Already put one on my truck keys. Seems very durable. It has a weatherproof seal on it right here. I'll be curious to see if it actually is waterproof, but the way the door lips over, only way I could see you getting any water would be if it splashed up there while you're driving on the road, but again, that doesn't happen very often. So one thing is, this box technically probably should set back about another 2 to 3 inches. It doesn't quite fit in between these 2 pieces of angle iron here, so it's setting forward. I think they probably, these 2 pieces, I could have worked on it and made it fit in there, but I just decided to leave it the way it is. So if you turn the handle of this handle around, it's going to hit it, but all you got to do is raise it slightly and it still clears it with no problem. All right, y'all go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description below to Vever, to this box. If you want it, go check it out. If you buy one, tell them they sent us. All in all, it seems very durable, very well built. The only downfall that I can say, like I said before, is it didn't come with mounting hardware. And the only reason, I mean, I guess the only reason I can think of it that it doesn't is because there could be different ways you would mount it depending on how the trailer is built and things like that. So maybe they just left it out. That way you can go get specifically what you want. But either way, it's a good deal. Took me, I mean, literally 20 minutes to get it mounted on there with a drill and socket set and minimal tools. So, and just having that stuff on there, 1, you don't have to keep it in your truck. And 2, it's on there, you know, when you grab the trailer, you don't have to think about it, you know, is it in my truck, is it still in my shop, where is it? Having those tools, those things on there when you need them, to me is worth it. And this would be my #1 thing. If I was going to add something to my trailer, this is what it would be. So y'all go check them out, tell them we sent you. Thank y'all for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see y'all again.